Hey, good morning. Today we're going to talk about a few issues surrounding Mastercam and the making of your own plaque. This is a drawing that was given to me by a student, and he couldn't get it to work in Mastercam. And, well, the reasons that he couldn't get it to work are a few. He definitely doesn't have one continuous path for the tool to go around the object. For instance, as you move around here and then go here, the tool is given the choice to either go this direction or this direction, and it's not smart enough to make the right decision. So these lines here should have been trimmed out so that there was one continuous path all the way around the object. And then while I was trimming away all of these items here, and I was just going to send it back, I couldn't trim this one down here. And I thought maybe it was because these weren't extended properly, but actually it's because there's actually a line by itself drawn across here. And that makes me concerned that students are not drawing cleanly. What I mean by that is you can't have any lines on top of other lines, and you can't have any gaps, and there always has to be one continuous path for the tool. So again, for instance, if I was going to be trying to pocket out all of this area in between the clouds and Homer and these crumbs from whatever it is the donut he's eating, then I would have to make sure there's one continuous path along here, down here, all the way around, 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 and all the way around, and back up this side, and all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, and then completing it up here. And then I would have to click on this cloud to make sure it doesn't get wiped out by the pocketing that's going to take place. And I would have to click on these two crumbs and also this cloud here. And as long as they're all drawn without extra lines, then you should be in good shape. But if they are, then again, you're going to end up with a red arrow. So let's try and fix this layer up. Again, this is just supposed to be the outline layer. I'm not sure with all the errors in this one whether or not his other layers should get checked too. And I guess depending on the time that I have for this video, I could check a few more layers and see. But let's try and first of all trim around, and I'll show you what's going on. So modify and trim, and of course I hit enter so that all lines are trimmable. And now I'm going to head in here, so click. All right, good. Now I've got it going around the cloud. Click all the way around this cloud, click all the way around this cloud. Then I come over here and notice that it doesn't allow me. You can see the universal sign for, yeah, that ain't happening. So okay, so I'll just finish over here first, and then I'll try and figure out why that was the case. So then I hit escape to get out of that command, and I kind of zoomed in here to take a look. Sure looked like it was attached to the line. I zoomed in over here to have a look. Sure looked like it was attached to the line. So then I realized, oh, when I hovered on top, so let me just make sure I bring it fully up and pan it back. When I hovered on top, it's all just one line segment. Oh, crap, I didn't need to trim it. I could have just deleted it. So I'll click on it and delete it. So there it goes. Oh, wait, it's there again. And now it's attached to this extra line in here. So now it's actually trimmable. So he has a couple of mistakes. So you had one line on top of another line. So I'll try trimming again. So trim, enter. So all lines are trimmable. And now I'll try and trim this. Oh, look, it let me trim it, but it didn't let me trim it past here. What? So I'm going to hit escape, and I'm probably going to assume that this little guy right here is also by itself, so I'm going to delete it. So these are some really common mistakes. Now, this should be in good shape to mill out this background of Homer with the 1/2-inch tool. It will go where it can, and then again, it would need to be cleaned up with the 1/4-inch tool and a contour all around to get the detail. and then that would be done again all the way around, same depth with the 1/8 inch tool as a contour. And you'd have to make sure that the arrow for contouring was counterclockwise, and obviously for the pocket it doesn't make any difference. I hope that makes some sense. We do have a few more minutes left, so I'm just going to save this particular, I'm just going to try a different layer. So he probably has only this layer turned on. Let's have a little look and see. So it is true that he has, apparently has this crazy depth points layer on also. This is a terrible layer to have in a drawing. It's because someone did the dimensions command prior to a second layer being made. So this is a very dangerous layer to have on. So now I already checked. Let me get off that. I already checked that there was nothing on any extra layers in here. I clicked and surrounded it, and everything is on the outline layer. So that's good news. Again, I don't know if there are other extra lines on top of other lines in here. The only way to check that, if you've not been careful about drawing cleanly, is, you have to select them, delete them, undo it, and this is really aggravating and takes a long time. Obviously, in this cloud, if he's got extra lines in here, it would take forever. But there's not a lot of choices if you've failed to execute in terms of drawing cleanly. So let's check another layer out just for fun to see what he's got going on. So this is the hands. So I'm just going to turn off these dudes and say, okay. So this is his next layer. Looks like he's going to put some LEDs in. And as you can see, he actually has the exact same error here. So this line here cannot be here. If he wants to pocket this, the tool doesn't know whether to go this way or this way. So he actually needs to trim these out. And these lines, this line right here and this line right here, and actually this little line right here, they should be on their own layer, and they should be engraving on their own layer, because if they touch this outline, then they cannot be included in a mill. So we actually should make another layer and just delete all of the items that are surrounding, and just keep these little lines here that are going to be tiny engraving lines. Let me zoom in to make sure you understand. This would be engraving, this would be engraving, this would be engraving, and then I actually see a dangerous thing here. It looks like, well, maybe it's okay. It kind of looked like maybe it wasn't a good, clean intersection here. So again, this way, when the tool goes around, when the tool goes around the inside of this and pockets these fingers out, it needs one continuous path all the way around. Again, when it comes here, it won't know whether to go this way or go that way. So again, these engravings need to be on their own layer. Let's roll out and see what else he's got going on. So this should be fine. Nothing wrong with that. This again suffers from the same problem. These engraving lines, this is engraving right here. This is engraving. This part wouldn't be a problem in the middle, but because these two guys touch the edges, they need to be on their own layer. So engravings need to be on their own layer if they touch the sides of an object. And I probably didn't do a good job covering that. So that's why this video exists. This is also not going to work. So in fact, this would have to be trimmed away, and this line would have to be trimmed away, so that there is a single entity here, so that the tool can cruise around on the inside of this and pocket this out, probably with a 3/16 tool, and then clean it up with a counterclockwise toolpath with the 1/8 inch tool, a contour. So I hope that makes sense. Let's go to another layer. So again, he would have to make a copy of this layer and then put the engraving on the specific layers, on that specific layer, by deleting all of the items that are part of the pocket. So let me bring up another one. So let's see what else he's got going on. So let's check the nose out, and we'll turn the guy. So let's click on here, and let's roll in and see what we got here. So same thing. He would have to trim this line out and this line out, so that this is a single entity. This is fine. It's all by itself. This is actually fine, because these little areas on the inside are all little islands that don't touch each other. and they got LEDs inside them. They're kind of tiny, but, you know, it might work. This one actually is sketchy. You would have to probably delete this one because, again, it's touching the edges. And, I mean, you could just delete this little, trim out this little line here, and the tool would just go around that. So that's also possible. Obviously, 3/16 tool in here. If it fits, I hope he checked. We could quickly check that too. Here, draw circle, center, diameter. So I'm just going to put this in here and do 3/16. So 3/16. Enter. I don't really see it, so that makes me nervous. I wonder if his plaque is even the right size. So let's have a little look and see. So tools, inquiry, distance. So from here to here. Oh, that is 14. So I don't really know why that didn't show up. So his plaque is the right size, and it is at 0, 0. I'll try drawing that circle one more time. Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong, right. I'm on the outline layer, so you just turn the outline layer on. So that was the answer to that. So there's our little circle. So let's see if our little circle fits in. Just going to grab it here and grab the middle. So let me just make sure that it goes in here. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it fits. I don't know about getting down through that gap there, but you know, it kind of fits in here, so it might work. So I hope you checked. So all right, let me just delete that from here. So delete. Okay, and I'm going to go back and turn that layer back off again. So turning it back off. Yeah. Okay, great. So we talked about this guy. This obviously, this engraving right here and this engraving right here would have to be on their own separate layer. Okay. Got time for one more. So he definitely has some work to do. And again, I don't even know if he has extra lines on top of other lines, because that also is definitely going to be a disaster. So let's go here and check this layer out. And looks to me like there's lots of issues here. This would need to be on its own layer, all this engraving. And in here, this engraving actually would probably be okay. See how it doesn't touch the edges? This is clearly not going to work. This can't even be here at all. It shouldn't be here at all. These are not, it's not a pocket. It's not part of a pocket. So this is a pocket. This should just be fully deleted. This is a pocket here, and this engraving is fine. See how it doesn't touch the edges? This pocket is fine. This pocket needs some work. See, because this would be engraving. This would be engraving. This little part of this line would be engraving. All of that would need to be on its own layer. And then let's look at the top here. And again, I already talked about how that engraving would have to be on its own layer. I hope that makes some sense. It's really important that you understand that. So hopefully this video has explained that. He definitely needs to make layers for his engraving, right? Because he's got a lot of it, and a lot of it is touching the sides of these little individual pockets. Okay, great. That's it for now. I'm done.